Hi everybody, welcome back. This is an Easter craft collaboration with MINISCENESGB, and she will be playing her playlist, and I'll leave the link in the description box. Please go and have a look at all the fantastic crafters and makers that you can find on there. So today I am making some eco-pour little trays, little kind of plant pot stands. Eco-pour is very new to me, and I'm still sort of trying to work out my sort of technique for it, if you like. So simple. You pour the powder, you pour water in, you mix them up, ta-da, you've got eco-pour. But it's taken me a wee while to kind of get used to consistency and how much water to add to the powder. There aren't good instructions on the back of the packet, and I have to remind myself to read them more often. But anyway, we're going to give it a try. I want to try and make these little trays, which will hopefully go out in the greenhouse. And I've mixed up the eco-pour with some water. I'm now going to add some Crusoe Yellow eco-pour pigment from Create and Bloom Crafts, and I only need a tiny little amount, and this will change the eco-pour into a lovely summery lemony shade that is just perfect for Easter. Obviously I've speeded this bit up, my hands don't stir that quickly. Look how lovely that is, a lovely sort of custardy yellow colour, very springtime, very fresh. And we're just going to put it in the trays. I'm just going to sort of pour some in, pour about half of the tray mixture in, and then I'm going to give it a quick tap and a quick shiggle and try and sort of get it to settle into any corners, because I don't want any bubbles appearing around the edges. I give it a good tap, a good shake, and then fill up the rest of the mould with the mixture. You don't have very long with this mixture. You know, you've really got to sort of have everything ready so that when it's ready to pour, you pour it straight into the mould. You don't have a lot of time to be faffing about, and I usually do need faffing about time, so I've had to up my game and make sure that I'm kind of on the ball and I know exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just adding it to both trays, and you'll see the second tray I've not quite got enough. I'm trying to scrape out every last drop out of the jug, but I've decided that I'm going to do a sort of 2-layer colour scheme with that one, so it's fine. It'll just cure, it'll harden, and we'll pour the next layer tomorrow. Quick shush, a quick tap, quick jiggle, make sure all the bubbles are up to the top, and that's it really. I'm just going to leave it overnight, and a demold tomorrow. As you can see, I filled up the larger tray mould just a little too much. I'm just scooping small amounts out and adding it to the smaller flower tray, just to prevent any overspill. I'm really happy with the colour of this. It's a beautiful, soft, summery, springtime yellow shade, and it's so easy to mix up with the eco-pour and the pigment from Create and Bloom. Okay, so it's the next day, and I have decided that I'm going to pour another layer into the smaller tray, but the bigger tray is completely ready for demold. So I'm just carefully easing off the corners and making sure that I don't bend the tray or don't chip any little bits off the edge. As you can see, there aren't any air bubbles. I'm really pleased with this one. So I go ahead and make up some of the white eco-pour, just to add in as my sort of second layer onto the smaller daisy flower mould. I'm just going with white because I plan to do some kind of print on the bigger tray, and that will be in white just to set it off against the yellow background. And remember, once you've finished looking at my video, please go ahead and have a wee look at all the other collaboration videos that are on the playlist, and the link for the playlist will be in my description box. And it's organised by MINISCENESGB, and she has spent quite a bit of time organising, arranging all the how-tos and what-to-dos for this, so please go and have a look. So again, I'm just filling up the mould as I did before, and making sure there are no bubbles by giving it a quick sugar, a tap, and just making sure we jiggle, make sure everything's all settled along the top, and I'm quite happy. So I found one of these silk screen prints. Claire's Crafty Corner has been using these, and I got some from Amazon. Very easy to find on Amazon, very easy to use. They are a little bit tacky on the back of the print itself, which means you can stick it onto your eco-pour or jessamine item, and then make sure all the bubbles are out, all the edges are kind of firmly adhered to the base. I wasn't too happy with the kind of shapes I was left with, the wee kind of corners, so I've got a pair of scissors, just cut a few little snips here and there, just on the kind of border, just to make it fit the tray a wee bit better because of the curvy corners. Making sure everything's all rubbed down, and all I'm going to put on this is white acrylic paint, and I'm going to hope for the best. I've never tried this before. As I say, Claire's Crafty Corner, her YouTube channel quite often features silkscreen prints, and it looks dead easy, so like it should be okay. I am taking a fair bit of time to make sure this is all completely the way I want it, because once that paint goes on, it's too late to make any minor adjustments. So here is the white acrylic paint, just a kind of standard, quite cheap tube of paint. I think I got it from the range. I think it was maybe £1 or £2 maybe. And I'm going to use a silicone makeup brush type tool to help spread the paint, because you really want it to be smooth, and you want to get into all those tiny little areas that are cut out on the silk screen. As I say, I haven't tried this before. It sort of reminds me a wee bit of printing at school. Remember, you had a blob of paint and a kind of squeegee that you had to pull down, and it made a print on fabric. It's roughly the same idea. It is quite straightforward, and I just had to be very careful that all the bits were covered, but also that they weren't too thickly covered and that they weren't too streaky or lumpy. So I do spend a wee bit of time kind of smoothing it out to try and avoid any streaks on the finished item. I wasn't sure how long this has to stay on for, so I'm just playing it by ear basically to see if it works or not. Yeah, I do spend quite a bit of time on this, don't I? Fingers crossed. Hopefully this goes okay. I'm just going to peel. I'm not too sure how long to leave it, so I'm just going to start peeling and see what happens. If the worst comes to worst, I'll wipe it all off. It's still, the acrylic paint at the moment is still quite wet. But look at the little bunnies. How cute is this? That was so easy to do. I'm so glad I tried it. Oh, I love it. It's so cute. There are a couple of areas where there's a tiny bit of a smudge, and one place where I definitely want to do a wee bit of clean up on. You'll see me sort of rubbing a wee bit of the wet wipe just to try and kind of make it a wee bit tidier looking, a neater edge. But it was only really on that one bunny, and that was right in at the corner, and it was really difficult to get the screen into that corner. But the rest of it I'm so pleased with. It looks beautiful. So happy. Okay, so now what I need to do is check everything's dry, the paint's dry, which is perfect. And I'm going to demold the little flower tray, and that's come out really well. You can see the slight difference when you take a piece out of the mould straight away. It's not completely dry, so it's a slightly darker yellow than the bigger tray, but that will dry out in no time. And I'm going to use some of the bloom finish, which is a waterproof sealer, and I'm going to put this on the back of the tray. I do want to use it out in the greenhouse or something, so maybe put a couple of wee plant pots on it. So I do want some kind of water resistance to it. And all I'm going to do is use this to just sort of wipe it all over the back of the tray, and it gives a slightly kind of, not gloss finish, but a slight sheen to the end result, and really simple to do. Again, this is from Create and Bloom Crafts, and you can find that on her website. I'll try and remember to leave a link in the description. So I'm just making sure it's all completely covered. I'm quite happy that everywhere has got a little bit of bloom finish. And then on the front, I decided to do something a wee bit different and use some of my wax sealer. So this is a concrete and plaster wax sealer that has a food finish. And I'm just using it to see what the difference is between the bloom finish and the wax. And to be honest, the end result is very much the same. If anything, I would say that the bloom finish is slightly quicker and slightly easier to apply. With the wax sealer, you kind of, you rub the wax on, wax off. You rub the wax on, wait a wee while, half an hour or so maybe, and then buff all the rest for the wax back off again. And that gives it a nice shine as well. But honestly, there's no difference between the wax and between the wax and the bloom finish. Both of them are easy to use. Both of them have a really good result. I suppose it would just be whatever your preference is, which one you prefer. I'm so pleased with this. Like, I'm so happy. It looks amazing. The printing on of the acrylic paint has just worked out fantastically well. I'm really happy with the finish. I can't wait to go and see everyone else and see what other crafters have made for their Easter collaboration. So I can't wait until the playlist is out, and that'll be out on Friday, March the 29th. I think it's 9 o'clock at night, UK time, that it goes live. But look at my little bunnies, they're so cute. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again. I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.